Hello, and my name is David, and welcome to my journey through the complex world of stress responses. Today, I just wanted to focus on the unique ways that individuals perceive and cope with stress. Interestingly, stress isn't just a one-size-fits-all kind of experience. For some, a minor inconvenience can feel overwhelming, while others may remain unflustered even in the most challenging situations. This strange and shifting variability in stress perception and coping sheds light on the diverse psychological, emotional, cognitive, and biological responses among individuals. It's important that people understand the diverse manner that we all handle stress and are able to support those who have different responses than ourselves. By understanding some of these nuances and differences for why stress debilitates one person and might only have a modest impact on another, it empowers us to be supportive, gracious, and accommodating in the ways with which we interact with people suffering from traumatic pasts and a stress-laden present. In delving into this topic, it's important to understand the concepts of vulnerability and resilience. These two are often mistakenly seen as opposites, but these traits are far more complex. Vulnerability refers to our susceptibility to disturbances from environmental or social challenges, while resilience refers to our ability to bounce back and even prevent harmful effects of stressors in the present. Factors influencing vulnerability range from genetics to early life experiences and the environment that we grew up in. But on the other hand, resilience is shaped by traits like tenacity, feelings of control, and a positive outlook on life. Having a strong social support network can significantly help with the adverse effects of these things and those little problems that tend to cause us stress. But now let's talk about the role of genetics in our stress responses. We've moved beyond the simple ideas of the Mendelian inheritance where genes were passed down like Mendel's pea plants. There's an interplay of our genes with the environment. Often this is referred to as the battle between nature and nurture, but this interaction is crucial in shaping how we deal with stress. A key concept in this area is epigenetics, which is a term that has to do with stressful events and how they impact the way that our genes are expressed. It doesn't really alter the actual DNA sequence. Essentially, the environments that we are exposed to can switch off certain genes or switch them on, and it can influence our susceptibility to various diseases and how we respond to stress. What's even more significant is that these epigenetics changes can be passed down from generation to generation. So our stress response isn't solely just determined by the genes that we inherit, it's also shaped by our life experiences and how they interact with these genes. Age plays a big role in how we deal with stress. It turns out that our age affects how vulnerable we are to stress. For example, in early childhood and later in life, people tend to be more sensitive to stress. But it's not just about being younger or older. The stress that we experience during key times of our life, like during changes, during maybe our teenage years, can leave a lasting mark on our psyche. But these lasting effects can shape how likely we are to face stress-related health issues later on. These long-term effects could be due to changes in how we interact socially or in the way that our brain works biologically. But through understanding how our responses to stress changes throughout our different stages of age, we can come up with a better way to handle these stressors and reduce their negative impacts on us early on and preventatively. Now turning our attention to how sex influences stress responses, it's no mystery that women can often deal with higher proclivities to stress-related health issues. This disparity may stem from a variety of factors, including social roles, caregiving responsibilities, and even anatomical and biological differences. There have been some studies that have shown that women are more prone to certain illnesses like autoimmune disorders and even depression. But this isn't just about societal roles. There are biological differences between men and women, particularly in terms of sex hormones and the effects that they actually have on our brain function. It significantly contributes to variations in stress responses. But what I find to be interesting is the way that men and women appraise and deal with the stress differently. Why and how this happens is potentially influenced by biological factors, but also potentially societal factors and social elements. But yet the idea that women are inherently less capable of handling stress is a notion that is frankly being challenged by modern science as modern medical researchers continue to uncover more about these complex interactions. Diving deeper, we find that personality traits are hugely fundamental in determining how we respond to stress. Traits like optimism or resilience and self-efficacy greatly influence our capacity to handle stress. Optimistic individuals, for instance, have been found to regulate stress responses more effectively and therefore are less prone to depression. Furthermore, if you believe you have control over the events in your life, known as having an internal locus of control, you are much more likely to manage stress effectively. But this belief in personal control means that you feel you can influence your own life outcomes, which is really a key factor in handling stress well. In the realm of personality psychology, there are actually 5 core dimensions. There's openness, conscientiousness, extroversion and agreeableness, and neuroticism. Among these, neuroticism stands out for its strong link to how we respond to stress. Individuals with high levels of neuroticism tend to experience emotions like anxiety, sadness, and irritability more intensely and more frequently, which makes them particularly sensitive to stress. But this heightened emotional reactivity can largely shape both our perception of stressful events and our strategies for how we handle them and how we cope with them. Moreover, neuroticism doesn't just influence our psychological responses, it also has a tangible impact on our biological reactions. This can manifest itself in various ways, from changes in hormone levels to alterations in brain function, thereby affecting our overall health and well-being. Understanding the role of neuroticism in stress response is crucial, as it underscores the profound ways in which our personality traits intertwine with both our mental and physical health. Our past experiences with stress also plays a critical role in shaping our current responses. When we encounter mild or moderate stressors, especially early on in life, they might actually enhance our resilience and ability to handle future challenges. However, intense stressors can also sometimes have the opposite effect, which is sad, because sensitizing our biological systems and raising our sensitivities to them can really mean that similar stressors are encountered later in life and our reactions might be overly intense or prolonged, leading to negative consequences. These experiences, whether in childhood or in adulthood, can influence our sensitivity to stress, our perceptions of events, and our coping mechanisms. They also impact our lifestyles and worldview, potentially increasing our propensity for future stress encounters. All of these things highlight how important it is to recognize that stress itself and our responses to it and coping mechanisms are highly individualized. Every person is different. We often make the mistake of assuming or just thinking that others perceive and handle stress in the exact same way that we do, but this is just not true. However, individual differences are significant and they're influenced by a myriad of factors, including genetics, personality, age, sex, and previous experiences. Even the interactions between our genes and the environment can play a crucial role. Therefore, it's not advisable to assume that a particular stressor will affect others in the same way that it affects us. When offering advice, we must consider that our perspective might miss the nuances of another situation, or it might strain their coping abilities. This understanding really highlights the need for personalized approach to managing stress and to building resilience. Thanks so much for coming with me on this journey through the differences between the ways that we each feel stress and cope with it. I hope you gleaned something out of this, and thanks for watching.